Hey guys, and welcome back to another ultimate review. And today I have with me the 7hz Salnotes Zero. So I know how many of you have been commenting on my channel to get this reviewed. It's finally done. I'm sorry I've been busy with some things, so I couldn't do this sooner. But finally, it's ready. My verdict is here, and here we go. Now, the 7hz Salnotes Zero comes in a very simple packaging, something that you see for all other IEMs in this price category. And inside the box, you get the user manual, the 2-pin detachable cables. Now these are oxygen-free copper cables that ends in a 3.5mm audio jack. You get 5 sets of different colored and different sized silicone ear tips. And of course, you get the 7hz Salnotes Zero in-ear monitors themselves. Now in terms of the specs, so the 7hz Salnotes Zero houses 10mm dynamic drivers inside, and they have an impedance of 32 ohms. So although they are low impedance in-ear monitors, I would still suggest that you definitely get or invest in a portable DAC, because that will allow you to get the most out of these in-ear monitors. It will give it the ability to push out its maximum volume and the full richness and spectrum of the sound. Now, talking about the build quality, so the 7hz Salnotes Zero feels very light in the hand, and the front plate is actually metal. So it's a brushed metal finish which feels good to the touch, and the rest of it is plastic. Now, this is where I have a little bit of gripe, because to me this plastic feels a little cheap, feels kind of toyish, doesn't feel as premium. Now, that could be just me, could be subjective, but I was expecting a bit more of a premium feel, so maybe my expectations were high. But overall, it's got a very quirky shape, and given this shape, I was thinking it could be a little uncomfortable to my ears, but the fit is very snug. They're not at all uncomfortable, they're light on the ears, they don't tug, and they fit very well and give you a more or less adequate ambient noise isolation. Now the one I have is the one that ends in the 3.5mm audio jack, so this does not have an inbuilt mic, but if you opt for the USB-C version, then you probably do get an inbuilt mic, so that'll make it easier for you to answer and end calls and maybe play pause music from the in-ear monitors themselves. Okay, now these specs are something that you can just read about. But let's get to the main criteria, which is the audio quality. So if you guys are an existing viewer, you would know that I never just say it's good sound or bad sound. I judge the sound quality of these in-ear monitors based on how they produce the 3 main frequencies that broadly make up any sound that you hear: the highs, the mids, and the lows. The highs, where the really sharp sounding instruments are, the mids, where the vocals are, and the lows or the bass. Now, starting off with the higher frequencies, I'm happy to say that the highs do not have any sort of sibilance where they sound really sharp, exaggerated, and become very fatiguing for your ears after a long listening session. So although the highs were pretty sharp and clearly audible, and no instrument was left muffled by any other frequency, it wasn't over sharpened. So the highs sounded very good. Now, talking about the mid frequencies where the vocals are. Now, the vocals are also very, very upfront and clear, and they are clearly separate from the higher frequencies and the low frequencies, so they are not muffled by any means. Now, this is the only place that I personally would say that I found that the vocals, although are very nice and pleasant, at times certain tracks which are vocal heavy and have really good recording, I felt that the vocals lacked at times a bit of warmth. They sounded just a tad bit hollow. Now, this could be me, but I just felt that a little more richness, just a tad bit more warmth in the vocals would have been really, really good. But this is me being very, very harsh. In general, for any usual or general listener, this wouldn't be a factor, and in general, the vocals do sound pretty good. And finally, we come to the low end or the bass. Now, regardless of how balanced a sound signature that you want, if it lacks bass, if the low end is not able to generate the minimum amount of bass that makes any song that you're listening to all the more enjoyable, adds body to it, it's gonna fall flat. But I'm happy to say that even though these boast a balanced sound signature, the bass response was surprisingly good. So it's got that punch, it's got that thickness to it, it won't really go into the sub-lows like some other in-ear monitors, and those obviously have those exaggerated bass response. But for a balanced pair of in-ear monitors, the bass response was rather powerful. It's got the punch and it makes whatever music you're listening to very enjoyable without making you feel that a bit more bass would have been good. Now, if you do want a bit more bass, you can obviously tweak the equalizer, or you can get another in-ear monitor that suits the type of sound signature that you want. Maybe you want a V sound signature where you want exaggerated bass, you can go for that. But for all of you who value an overall balanced sound where no particular preference is given to any frequency, then the 7hz Salnotes Zero, for its price, is definitely a steal. They are comfortable, they are loud, and all the frequencies are beautifully rendered and they are done justice. I was mostly worried about the highs being too sharp and the bass being too flat, but I was pleasantly surprised because they were really good, really good. But like I said, please guys, always invest in a portable DAC when you're investing in in-ear monitors to bring out the maximum volume and to get the full spectrum of sound. So make sure you invest in that. Alright guys, so that was my review of the 7hz Salnotes Zero. I'll leave a link of this product in the description below. You can check it out from there. I'll also leave a link of the DAC that I use. So make sure you check those out. So that was the review. If you guys have any questions regarding this product, do let me know. I'll try my best and quickest to answer them. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, stay safe and I'll catch you guys very soon in the next one. Cheers.